Your heart is pounding, your chest tightens, you can't breathe, your hands are shaking, and you're absolutely certain something terrible is about to happen. But here's the strangest part. You're sitting on your couch, watching television. Nothing is wrong, except everything feels wrong. Welcome to the world of anxiety disorders, and if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Over 40 million adults experience anxiety disorders every year. That's more people than live in Canada. But here's what nobody tells you. Anxiety isn't your enemy, it's a messenger, and most people are reading the message completely wrong. I'm going to show you what's really happening inside your brain and body when anxiety strikes. More importantly, I'm going to explain why trying to eliminate anxiety is like trying to eliminate pain. It misses the entire point. Let's go back 100,000 years. You're walking through tall grass on the African savanna. Suddenly, the grass rustles. Your brain has exactly 2 seconds to make a decision. Is that the wind, or is that a lion? If you assume it's wind and you're wrong, you're lunch. Game over. No children. Your genes die with you. If you assume it's a lion and you're wrong, you waste some energy running away from nothing. You live, you reproduce, your cautious genes carry forward. This is why you have anxiety. You are the descendant of the most anxious humans who ever lived. The calm, relaxed ones didn't make it. Your amygdala, that tiny almond-shaped structure deep in your brain, it's your internal smoke detector, and it was calibrated for a world where real danger could kill you in seconds. Predators, rival tribes, starvation, exposure. But here's the problem. That smoke detector never got the software update. It still thinks you're on the savannah. It can't tell the difference between a lion in the grass and an email from your boss. Between actual danger and imagined catastrophe. Between a physical threat and a social one. So it sounds the alarm anyway. When your amygdala detects threat, it bypasses your rational brain completely. It triggers your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. Within milliseconds, your body becomes a survival machine. Your adrenal glands dump cortisol and adrenaline into your bloodstream. Your heart rate spikes, your pupils dilate, your muscles tense. Blood rushes away from your digestive system and into your limbs. You're ready to fight or run. This system is brilliant for actual emergencies, for a lion, for a house fire, for a car accident. But what happens when the threat isn't real? What happens when it's 3 in the morning and your mind is spinning with worst-case scenarios? What happens when you're sitting in a meeting and suddenly your heart starts racing for no reason? Your rational brain tries to make sense of these physical sensations. It searches for danger. And here's the cruel trick. When it can't find external danger, it creates internal danger. It turns inward. Why is my heart racing? Something must be wrong with my heart. Am I having a heart attack? What if I die right here? Now you're afraid of your own fear. You're anxious about being anxious. The smoke detector is going off because it smells its own smoke. This is the anxiety spiral. And once it starts, it feeds itself. Here's what changed everything for me when I understood it. Anxiety isn't a malfunction, it's information. Your nervous system is trying to tell you something. But most people never learn the language. Chronic anxiety usually means one of several things. Sometimes it means you're living out of alignment with your values. You're saying yes when everything inside you screams no. You're staying in a job that crushes your soul. You're maintaining relationships that drain you. Your body knows, and it's protesting. Sometimes anxiety means you're carrying unprocessed trauma. Your nervous system is stuck in a threat state from something that happened years ago. Your body is still braced for impact, still waiting for danger that already passed. Sometimes anxiety means you have massive untapped potential, energy that has nowhere to go, creativity with no outlet, gifts you're too afraid to unwrap. That energy doesn't disappear. It turns into nervous tension, restlessness, panic. And sometimes, yes, anxiety has a purely physical cause. thyroid dysfunction, blood sugar dysregulation, hormonal imbalances, gut bacteria imbalances that affect your neurotransmitters. This is why any good approach starts with ruling out medical causes. But once you've done that, the question becomes, what is this trying to tell me? Let me give you something practical right now, something you can use today. This technique comes from understanding your autonomic nervous system, the automatic control system that runs beneath your conscious awareness. You have two branches: sympathetic, which is your accelerator. It speeds everything up: heart rate, breathing, alertness. This is your fight or flight system. And parasympathetic, which is your brake. It slows everything down: rest, digest, repair, calm. When you're anxious, your sympathetic system is floored. Gas pedal to the metal. To calm down, you need to activate the parasympathetic brake, and the fastest way to do that is through your breath. Here's the protocol. Count how long your natural inhale takes. Let's say it's 3 seconds. Now double your exhale. Breathe in for 3. Breathe out for 6. The exhale must be longer than the inhale. This is crucial. Why does this work? Because your vagus nerve, the main parasympathetic nerve in your body, is activated by slow exhalation. You're literally hacking your nervous system, telling it that you're safe, that there's no lion, that you can relax. Do this for 3 to 5 minutes when anxiety strikes. Not once, not as a test, as a practice. Your nervous system needs repetition to learn new patterns. But here's what I want you to understand. Breathing techniques are first aid. They're valuable, essential even, but they're not the cure. They're the tourniquet, not the surgery. The real work is deeper. It's asking, what is my anxiety protecting me from? What truth am I avoiding? What part of my life needs to change? I've watched this pattern dozens of times. Someone comes in with crippling panic attacks. We start digging. Turns out they've been ignoring a deep calling for years. They're working in finance, but they're actually an artist. They're in a stable relationship, but they're deeply unhappy. They're living their parents' dream instead of their own. The panic attacks aren't random. They're an uprising, a rebellion from the parts of themselves they've exiled. And when they finally listen, when they make the terrifying changes they've been avoiding, the panic doesn't just decrease. It transforms into energy, drive, creative force. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. The same nervous system that makes you anxious is the same one that makes you alive, passionate, creative, deeply feeling. You can't selectively numb. You can't turn down the volume on fear without turning down the volume on joy. The people I've worked with who've overcome severe anxiety disorders, every single one says the same thing eventually. They're grateful, not despite the anxiety, because of it. Because it forced them to stop sleepwalking, to examine their lives, to make changes they'd been avoiding for years. The panic attack that felt like dying became the thing that taught them how to truly live. The anxiety that seemed like a curse turned out to be a compass, pointing them toward the life they were meant to live. Your anxiety isn't trying to destroy you. It's trying to wake you up. The question is, are you listening? Look, I'm not going to pretend this is easy. Changing your relationship with anxiety takes time. It takes courage. It often requires professional help. A good therapist, someone who understands trauma, someone who won't just hand you pills and send you home. Though sometimes, for some people, medication is part of the bridge. There's no shame in that. But here's what I know for certain. You are not broken. You are not defective. You have an incredibly sensitive alarm system that's doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just responding to the wrong signals, and you can retrain it. Start with your breath. Notice when the alarm goes off. Instead of running from the sensations, get curious about them. Where do you feel it in your body? What triggered it? What is it trying to protect you from? What would change if you listened? Your anxiety is not your enemy. It's a teacher, and it has something important to tell you. Maybe it's time to listen. Drop a comment below and tell me, what do you think your anxiety is trying to tell you? What truth have you been avoiding? Let's talk about it. Subscribe to this channel for more.